Today I'm going to talk about a drop stitch scenario where we've progressed with the knitting too far, or maybe have even completed the project and did not notice the drop stitches at the time when they happened. What do we do in this case? I've noticed the 2 drop stitches on my current project too late, and it's a hat I'm knitting here in different colors. So the drop stitches at the bottom of the hat are in a color which I don't have anymore because I've knitted it all into the rim of the hat. So far I've knitted approximately 20 centimeters and I don't want to undo my hat. So what do? How do I hide the 2 drop stitches and blend them into the fabric of the knitting? I'm knitting my hat in 1x1 rib, and I think the reason I didn't notice the 2 drop stitches was because there were 2 of them and I simply continued knitting in the 1x1 rib, which meant there was no change to the pattern apart from stitches shifting in the area where they got dropped. Now I'm going to try and fix these 2 stitches by weaving them into the spaces where they should have continued. For this I will be using a hook. This is a 3mm hook, which I often use for these purposes. I also will need a needle. This is a needle I often use for sewing my knitted pieces together. And I will also need some sewing cotton, and I found these 4 colors in my sewing basket, and I think I'm going to use either the purple or the brown one to hold my stitches in place so they do not get unraveled. Using my hook, I'm going to work a couple of knit stitches upwards towards the purple area, and then the aim here is to join my picked up knit stitch with the knit stitch in the purple area. Weaving the drop stitch into the purple area will give me that look of continuous knitting, so the drop stitches should hopefully not be noticeable. Now I'm going to leave the newly formed purple stitch on the hook and pick up my purple sewing cotton in order to fix the stitch in place. I'm just going to fold my sewing cotton a few times as it's a little thinner than my knitting yarn, and it should hold my stitch in place nicely. And now I'm just going to thread the needle and fix the stitch in the purple area by mimicking a knit stitch. Now I'm going to insert the needle into the loose stitch and then pick up a side of a knit stitch right next to it. What I want to do here is join them together so that the loose stitch looks like part of a knit stitch, or looks like a knit stitch. And I'm going to pick up the other side of the same knit stitch and tighten the thread. And I'm just going to sew just one more time in order to hold the stitch securely in place. I have 2 loose ends left as I've taken the needle out, and I'm going to just tie them a couple of times in a knot and then cut the loose ends off. Now let's just have a quick look what I've ended up with here. I think the purple cotton thread works really well with the purple yarn in this area and has masked the dropped stitch quite well. Now I'm just going to repeat the process with the other drop stitch and return to show what the finished outcome looks like. And can you spot these 2 drop stitches here which have been tied into the purple area? I think they look pretty good. And here is the reverse side, the wrong side of the knitting. and on this side I would say it's almost unnoticeable that there were drop stitches in this area, and that they've been worked in here and sewn in. I'm really pleased with this outcome. It looks really good here too.